Hello, everybody. Back again. Just to continue working on this, just to remind everyone, or anyone that might click on this, I am working on a 3D model for the Solstice gun from the game Starfield. The aim of this is to make a 3D printed model for cosplay or just fun display, that kind of thing, and basically showing the methods I use to get it to a workable state. I just figured some people might find it interesting, and it's the kind of video I would have want to found if I was trying to look up how to model, because I enjoy just watching people's process to see what they do to get to the point they do. And so I'm just doing long form complete upload. It's so long, but I I think it should be fine, because I'm not looking for any kind of any of these metrics that people care about. I'm just looking to hopefully help someone somewhere. And yeah, so feel free to skip around. I don't care if you watch the whole thing. Well, I mean, it'd be nice, but it's not. It won't hurt my feelings or anything. I'm just saying, just if you could get something out of it, great. Otherwise, if you see the length and you're like, it ain't for me, yeah, it's good too. I hope you enjoy it either way. So I'm going to get on with it. So from the last one, when I clocked out, I noticed some issues. Like I forgot to make this curve. It was straight up and down. So I fixed that curve real quick. What I did was I just made a sketch, and well, first off, I got rid of the fillet. I just made a cutout sketch based on the canvas here. So I cut it out, and now it looks pretty good. Compared to, give you an idea, that's what it looks like on the end game. So I'm thinking it looks pretty good. And I split this up. I gave this a little color. I just did that one real quick. So let's while we are here, let's throw on the the grip of the button. So let's get an idea where that is. So it's dead center. So just do these real quick. And now the button I'm going to make separate, because I want it to be printable in different colored plastics. Plus, from a finishing sense, it's usually easier to have things like that separate. So just this should combine real nice either way. So I don't really care about the parts that intersect. I just care about getting this height right. So let's get rid of this front barrel thing. It's one problem about working at canvases, is it does kind of blur things when you get really close. So kind of just use your judgment. Okay, so we'll just let's combine these real quick. Now I don't like to combine when I extrude, because sometimes I can give unpredictable results that you didn't want. Oh, you know what? Looking at this, I think I may have made the lines too big. So let's fix that before we combine it. Yet again, this is a nice thing I can do before I combine it. So see if it. Oh no, that doesn't get predictable results. So let's we'll just have to make a new sketch real quick and give that so that it it looks like the button actually caves in a little bit. That's why, but so we'll slice it to only be this top. So we can actually use a nice little extrude command for this. So we'll just extrude that as a new body. And now we will just do an intersection. So intersection, keep, and we'll just do that a couple times. Oh. Did I? There we go. Intersection keep. And it's just a nice, quick way to do this. I mean, ideally, I would have noticed that when I was first designing it, but we're not always that smart. Or, you know, that clairvoyant. Okay, so get rid of this. And there we go. So now we can combine them, and it should look pretty good. And I'll round that off afterwards. Now, I don't know how many people use it, but keep tool, basically what that does is it makes it so whatever body you're using doesn't disappear. And it's something to pay attention to when you're doing it, because there's a lot of times you may want that body later. And the nice thing is you can go in the timeline and recheck that keep tool and it will get it back. So so let's make this just a smidge nicer. But honestly, this is going to print so darn small, it shouldn't matter that much. But might as well just put the detail while we're at it. And what, yeah, no. As you say, it's very small. What is the, yeah, so that should be fine. Though I probably want to round over the ends too. Yeah, it doesn't like that. As I said, it's going to be so small, it's not even going to be noticeable anyway. So it shouldn't matter that much. Though I could just do it from here and see how that works if I do this. Yeah, that actually looks a little nicer, so we'll just do it this way. All right. Trying to decide if those are too tall. But, nah, it should be fine. I mean, this whole thing is like, how big is it? It's about 6 millimeters, so you're not even gonna really notice it. It's just a little grip, and each of these is only what, 0.6. Yeah, so it's just gonna be, yeah, a little more than a nozzle height. Ideally, if someone had a resin printer, they'd do it in resin printing. All right, so we got that. And so any other like details that we should be adding, we'll get in those in a minute. Let's move on to the barrel. So the barrel is pretty much done because there's not much to that barrel. So we'll just combine that real quick to the grip. And yeah, that should be pretty good. It has a little bit of a round over to make it all nice and smooth, the transition. So we'll just give a fillet to it. Yeah, probably 2. Yeah, that should look pretty nice, like it's actually like all one piece. And so that's the knob there. We'll have to do the same thing we did over the other one, but we want to round this part off. We'll round that off to, is it 3 we did on this one? Can't remember. Yeah, so 3. I could hit this for match radius. I don't always do that because sometimes it gives weird results, but yeah, so it's 3. So do 3 there, and we'll do and we'll do hole control, add that one as well. So we'll do 3 on both of them. Or maybe we won't. Maybe I should round that off before I combine them. So let me just uncombine that. We'll just do that real quick. I feel it's going to be a little unpredictable. Yeah, let me get from the front angle of the reference, I get an idea of what we really want it to look like. So it definitely is more rounded over. Yeah, so it's more rounded over in the back than the front. So we'll just have the front one. We won't have that as part of the of that fillet. So let's just get back to having those combined. And we'll do this one as 3. And then we'll have this point as... Just going to get rid of this one since I shouldn't have done that yet. Okay, there we go. Oh, warnings. What is the warning? Well, you know what? We don't care about that one because that's the merge one. So we'll just redo that in a second. Let's combine. Okay. So we'll do this again. I mean, I probably could have fixed that, but it's easier just to redo it. Let's make that 2. Yeah, that should look pretty good. It doesn't cause issues down there, though. Probably should be 1. Looking at the, yeah, we'll make it 1. So it's matching this one too. So now, if you ever use the gun, this is like a cartridge in of itself that pops off. So these are always going to be separate. And not exactly sure how well it's going to fit together, but we'll play by ear with that one. And yeah, I should have just did this real quick, but I'm going to make this cap a little longer because I don't like how it's going to work when we finish it up. I'll just make that 5 total. So it's going to be a little bigger than the original, but it should be more robust for when we insert that in. So let's work on the lens real quick, because that's basically going to be a cut that's going to go the whole way through. And we'll wrap the rings around it as it goes. Because I even went back and I captured some of the reload in third person to get an idea how it comes apart. So as you can see, you remove the top part. So that cutout there is going to match that there, but it looks like it's going to be a little tapered. So we can taper that, but we'll use the cutout for initial reference. Yeah, because actually it looks like the interior cutout is... actually, it looks pretty even. Now, the one thing we can't do, because this is video game logic, is if you notice when they remove it, this big honking thing sticks out. And that be clipping, and that's impossible with a physical object. So we'll have to decide what we're going to do. I'm thinking I'm just going to make it recessed. I'm still going to put that detail there because it looks really cool, but I'll make it just recessed. So when you pull it out, it'll still be there. And I'm going to have to add this peg with all these details. So let's get this first things first. Let's just get the cutout real quick. So we'll just do a sketch. Now I want to project this curve again. So it doesn't matter which curve I'm projecting. I'm just looking for that center point there. So I can get this circle dead center. And just rough it out. Where like a 44. Yeah, that should be good. Oh, actually, while I'm doing that, why don't I get this details real quick on the same sketch since I'm already in this environment. Save us having to do an extra sketch later. All right, down. So I'll just make that chamfered when I get to it. And then let me hide this because this is getting a little distracting. There's one problem when you're working on a project like this. It starts to get a little distracting. And that's one of the good reasons to do components like that. Because then you won't be messing with all these unnamed bodies constantly. So let's do 45. There, we'll do 45 here. All right, and extend. So this is why I like these extends, because it's like I could do a chamfer for that, but I know that's supposed to be a 45-degree angle anyway, so it makes no difference where I make it, and it's easier for me to make sure that it overlaps where it's supposed to be overlapping. Let me get rid of the rear one, because the rear one's, yeah, there we go. All right, so I'll just round this corner real quick. That looks pretty good from the default. Let's give these ones a little bit of rounding. We'll just make those 1. Just because round looks nicer. Oh, I forgot to extend that all the way. Because round prints better, looks better, and cleans easier too. Sharp angles are hard to clean when you're sanding. So let me get the 3D view of this. Now this is probably not actual geometry in the game. This is probably a shader that gives that appearance. Well, some of it might be. Like I bet you these divots are a normal map, but that's actual geometry. And that's the other problem when it comes to printing. Like if you were just to take the model from the game and print it, you wouldn't have that geometry. So you'd be just losing the detail as it is. So that's why that's good to recreate. Plus, when you recreate it, you get a better idea. It gives you a chance to really understand the model too. So it's usually just a better idea to recreate from scratch than worry about trying to use the in-game model. Plus, meshes are a pain to work with. The beauty of Fusion and CAD software in general is all this model is continuously generated, through math. So it isn't approximating. Like when I tell it this is a 1 millimeter curve, it's always a 1 millimeter curve. It's not like a little subdivisions. So it makes it easier to scale as well. What am I doing? I'm just going to try and make a little consistency here with the thickness of it too. You know, what I probably should have did was I probably should have just did the outside and then offsetted it in. But coulda, shoulda, woulda. So we'll just make that. Yeah, I would prefer to be a meter, but we'll live with that. Oh. And we'll just offset this. Yeah, because it would have looked a lot nicer if I would have just did one and then offset the entire thing, because then it would have done the offset for us. But this is such a minor detail, no one's even going to notice this. They probably won't even realize we spent some time on it. Because you get that a lot. I mean, I've had times where the things I've spent the absolute longest on are the things that completely get glossed over. That's fine. I mean, you know, it's it's a normal thing for anything that you make, is that you're the one who always notices the issues or the things that were the biggest challenge to you. Alright, so let's fill with this. Let's do 0.5 since it's a meter, roughly a meter. And alright, so let's say, that's just references. Alright, and then we'll make this crosshair. So let's make a dead center of this. Right. So it looks like it's actually a little taller, isn't it? Huh. Oh. So we'll just do it to the model, because it's I'd rather just have it accurate to the model than to have it how I want it to be. Alright. Oh, yeah, and that's one area they did not get it exactly in half. I probably didn't get it entirely straight. So we're just going to guess on this one to make it look okay, which is not that big a deal. So I'll get that down. Make the end right here. How long is this? Five. Yeah, make it round. It's honestly gonna be so small. And actually no, I'll leave that sharp since it's intersection rather than. I mean, ideally, it needs to be an intersection less than a combination, even though it is combination. If you get what I mean. All right, so yeah, that looks pretty good. And then we'll do this part that, since this is actually real geometry, we'll try to pay a little more attention at this. So I'll just do slot tools again for this one, because I really like the slot tool. And let's do the top of the curve there. Alright, So just lots and lots of slot tools. Now ideally, I could center these, but it's not center. So we'll eyeball it. Because as I said, this isn't perfect. Doesn't have to be perfect. As long as we're consistent to our own model, it'd be a lot less noticeable. So make that 0.5, and then we will pattern it. You know what? I'm using this long. I'm just gonna something I should have done a long time ago. All right, get that so it looks all right. And I'm just going to cut these in half because since we're going to do a rotation on them. Or revolve, I mean. Yeah, looking at that, I should make this lower actually. Because that's actually the wrapped around silver of this part. So I'll just do it roughly there. All right. Yeah, because this is inset piece. As I said, I mean, this is just about getting to know the model. Just trying to keep a certain distance because that's a lens. Honestly, this detail might be too small. I'm not sure. Oh, look, it's a little cattywampus here, so probably some lens distortion. So I'm just going to make a judgment call where it is, so that looks all right. Because probably, I bet you, there's more space there. But since I was focusing on the middle, it caused some issues. Yeah, because if you look at this, that top line should be intersecting with that, and we have it below it right now. So what I'll do is I'll just have this even with this, and I will make this one even here. Because it will look a little nicer. Since they'll line up with them. Cut that out. Yeah, 0.5 should be all right. All right, so let's go make a judgment call on this one. I think I'll make the yeah, I'm gonna just make the circle dead center rather than what it looks like here. So we'll just get the center that way, and .5. Yeah, I'll make a 5 because we're going to want to roll over the edge. All right, we'll keep that. So since we can revolve it long, or well, we're not revolving it. We're going to do. Actually, we'll keep that because we'll revolve for the lens portion, and we'll just cut it out otherwise. All right, so these are a bunch of slots. The lighter portion is the raised. So we'll just get one slot and then we will do a pattern again. So overall slot. And I'm just going to do that out because that part's going to be cut off anyway. Make it one. Actually, let me cut that off for you, so I'm not cutting a ton of stuff. All right, pattern. There is 4 of them. Now it looks like, does it go a little shorter? Oh, I think that bottom one is shorter. Oh, see, it curves. So, probably shouldn't have done a slot then. Well, we can fix that. Because, what we'll do is we'll just make a line here. And then we can just cut the circles off. And extend, meet. Now this is probably an example of me being sloppy. But the only thing that keeps me all right with it is I know there's people that are sloppier than me. So I don't feel that bad. And yeah, so I'll just make that point. Well, so I wish I could like just have that what's with it. So, but that doesn't work very well. And this, unfortunately, this curve's not working how I want it to work. So we'll just do a quick we'll do a quick yeah, that should work. And then cut it. Yep, there we go. So now it's curved similarly to this. And we'll just round off these corners now. Now I'm still rounding it off a little bit because honestly this is going to be so darn small. Yeah, maybe I'll make a 0.25. Oh. See, that's the unpredictability sometimes. Because you would assume changing that would have just made this different, but it doesn't. So admittedly, that's why I'm not great about using like references and things like that. And constraints, I mean. Don't know if I like that. Let's just make this really small. Ooh. Ooh, it does not like doing that, does it? Huh. Maybe this be one of those times we should round it after. Yeah, we'll round it after the extrude. Because it is kind of weird how we cut it away. So that's probably causing the unpredictability, though. We could just round it over on the top then. And it should still look pretty nice. All right, so what? That's that portion. Oh, vent. There's a vent down here, or whatever you want to call it. Oh, and then there's the inconsistencies, probably due to lens distortion again. So I'm going to have to shoot. Where's the body? Oh no, I'm okay. I'm sorry. I was getting confused with the white portion. All right. Yeah. So no, we're fine. We're fine. We're fine. So I even mess myself up constantly. I am my own worst enemy when it comes to things like this. So let's put this back up here. I'll make this -8. Sounds good to me. Then over here. So now this looks like it's an angled one. So we'll probably do a revolve for this. And we'll use this as the revolution axis. Because that should be the easiest way to do it. You know, fillet's not going to work for that. This one will very well. Is it? All right, so that should be good enough for now. Oh, yeah, I should use the end of the barrel. That was not very smart of me. Okay, so but we should be all right. So I'll click through it, grab this profile, and let's get the reference. So we get an idea of what looks too extreme. So you see what I mean? It's higher up here, more inset down there, so maybe 10, 15 degrees. Yeah, it looks like 15 should look pretty good. All right, new body. Yep, making itself more difficult because I didn't pick a good sketch surface. So sketch surfaces matter. All right, let's see how this looks once we cut it out. Yeah, should look pretty good. We'll just give it a 1 meter round over. Yeah, that should look pretty good for what we're trying to accomplish. Yeah, I'll give this a slight round over too, because it's I want this to look good. Yeah, I'm not going to worry about inside of there. Because it's if I did it, it's going to mess up some of this side, and it's just not worth the effort. All right, so let's get this part out. Let me get rid of this body. All right, so we will get Yeah, let me just grab these, so I'll just do a cutout real quick. So how deep do we want this to be? Gonna guess. Okay, so let's do it here, and let's get an impression. So what's oh, looks like I fat fingered something. So let's knock 5 meters off with a cut. Yeah, 5 meters looks too much. Yeah, maybe 3 meters, because we want some distance for that to be a different height. So we'll do 3 meters. What's the reference? It's so I'll make that 2. Yeah, that should look pretty good. All right, so actually we're going to I'll push this back another meter. Yeah, 2 meters, because I'll make these insert about 2 meters thick then. Okay, profile. See how much more work I'm making for myself that I didn't put the sketch plane even with it. So please put the sketch plane on the body that you're going to want to extrude it from. You'll save yourself headache. And moving sketches are usually not a good idea. Click that too. New body again, and then the final one. This one we're going to have stick out just a smidge more, so we'll do that one at 3. millimeters. So it sticks out a little further than the others. All right, now let's get the details. Yeah, I'll make this a little shorter. Yeah, that's when I need the math. All right, so what we want to add so we just want to add the 5, so we'll just you know what? I'm sorry, my brain's scattered right now. So, oh yeah, forgot when you're doing press pull. This is kind of a nice thing to know. Automatically, it tries to do the previous reference. You can just do a new offset if you want to do a whole brand new one. So I'll just do 0.5 because I just want to stick out a smidge. And now we can just combine these into one so that we don't have these extra bodies lingering around confusing us. Oh no. Why'd I do that? All right. So let's just revolve this. Like this, and then two sides. So I'm sure some of these details get lost on some people's prints, but might as well give the option. You know, I'm doing this hard way. If you want to do the whole thing, just hit the face. Alright, so let's get rid of the canvas and the grip, but the not barrel. Where'd it go? There we go. Alright, so just combine these real quick. Stick out detail. And, oh yeah. So now this is what I mean where I don't know if it's just going to combine with this or if it's going to combine everything. We'll see. Hey, well, you know, it combines with just this. Sometimes it'll combine any bodies that are even touching. I'm sure someone knows better why it does that. I don't. And I just tend to try to avoid it so that it's not an issue. So do a 0.5 round over, yeah, 2.5. Yeah. Oh, wait. Yeah, I did these reverse. These are inset. They don't stick out like that. So let's go to where we combine those. Okay, let's close these holes up. Oh, that didn't work. Sometimes that works, sometimes it doesn't. because we're basically trying to make it do the, do the work for us. Okay, there we go. So we'll just flip these around. There we go. So now we got divots. Now let's round this off. Yeah, that looks nicer. Actually, I'm going to make this 0.25 less so that it's even with the rounded off portion here. I probably should push these in then. Oh, look at that. That's not optimal. That's not going to look very good. I didn't even notice that. So I'll just get rid of that. Let's adjust these negative 0.25 as well. And you know what it is? It's because I selected the entire thing. So it did this inside part too, which we're mirroring that, so that's not what we want to happen. There we go. So that should look really nice once it's mirrored. All right, so now we just need the lens part. Just do it here, and then oh, I'm gonna have to make all these all thicker now because I wasn't paying attention to that. So we'll just make this entire body a little thicker. So this is gonna probably just gonna print this as one solid piece. So we want this to be what, 28? Yeah, so we'll just make it, we'll make it 2 meters just to be a little, 29. Oh, it's gonna be a pop out portion, so it doesn't matter. I'll just extend all these backs one. Okay. Now we want the revolve on the lens. And since it's a lens, and lenses, you know, are usually not completely round, we'll do a scale in just a second on it. Let me get rid of this sketch because we should be done with this sketch now. Use that as the source. And put it here for the time being. So let's wish I took a better angled image of this, but it looks like it's inset just a smidge. So what we'll do is we will push this back 0.25. J for this 0.25, and we will scale, and we want to change the point to I'll do that because we're just doing it non-uniform. And I'll just push back that way. Just make just a little bit of a divot. So that should look good and give the impression that it's a lens. And we could keep this as a separate body, or we can just trust people that they may just want to just paint it. It's kind of a judgment call on that one. Okay, what's going on here? Huh. Okay, I don't know what's going on with that one. So we'll just do this method. Move that, get that body back. All right, so looking at this part is the same color as this, so let's we should give this a big old slope because it's yeah, let me just do this first. Yeah, there we go. That should look pretty good. All right, so it looks like these two are together because they look like they're the same color. Then this sits on top of it. And these insets are like black jewels or whatever. So they're like lenses of themselves. Going by what I can glean, because these are, I mean, this is a shader. So it's not real geometry. So we're just completely guessing on what it's supposed to be. Look at it from another angle. I think these might be lenses just like this one. So we could do just some quick lenses for this too, and scale them just like we did. So I'll just project this body. I need a better mouse. All right, and split this in half. So let's get rid of that sketch since we don't need that anymore. And I will just make this even with that. Well, it really does not like using the back of these for some reason. It's probably some kind of reference, and it's causing issues. And it doesn't help that I scaled it. That seems to sometimes mess things up. There, join. Get rid of that now. Oh, that's interesting. Why would that have mattered with the scale? Huh. Oh, you know why? It's because I probably did point to point. Sorry, this is kind of odd why I'd be doing that. Yeah, the whole thing got shifted over. Oh, so something happened during the move. Okay, I'm just going to do a point to point. Yeah. It probably what happened was the access was slightly askew. So the what I was telling it to be aligned with, it technically was, but it kind of offshot in a weird direction. So point to point works a lot easier in that regard. All right, so I'm just gonna. It's messy, but I'm just gonna copy and paste these. I mean, rather than do anything else, so I'll just do point to point again. If I can find the point. Oh no. Did this not combine? Oh, it didn't combine. That's what happens when I rush. So I'm like, oh yeah, I can get this done fast. And then that's when issues crop up. Whoa. I feel like I'm trying to force a round hole into a square peg or something. All right. So yeah, another sketch to save the day. Okay. So now I got one body. It's messy, but it works. Oh, oh what is messing up my axis of rotation? All right. So we got that. Make this nice and even. All right. Now we'll do what I was trying to accomplish. Copy, paste. Point. Point. I mean, it'd probably been easier if I would have measured it for this part, but that might introduce its own issues. So, all right, so we'll just join those all together. All right, so that should be good in that regard. And okay, so okay, top inset. Okay, lower inset. Center inset. Lens. And I'm just going to combine that for now. I can always separate it later if I really want to. Sew that back into the front barrel part. All right. Oh, forgot to move this back. So, all right. And I'll just quickly throw appearance so that looks all nice and pretty. Black plastic on there. Do a polished aluminum there, and then it's kind of a browny color. But we'll just do this. Oh yeah, if you ever do appearances, if you do faces, then you can do this if you want to have cooler colors without having separate bodies. It is kind of tedious to apply it, but the results look pretty good. Separate bodies definitely are easier since you just drop it in. And I'm sure there's some magic command that I haven't found yet for this to make it a lot faster. But people always say that Fusion's not a rendering program. It's not their main focus. It's kind of the same reason you can't do textures very easily. I mean, you can do textures, but the texture mapping is terrible, and it will wrap around your whatever body you try to apply to in really strange and unpredictable ways. And as far as I know, there's no way to fix that because texture mapping really isn't their focus. So we live with what we're given, which is good enough. I mean, with a little work, it can actually look pretty good. All right, should look pretty good. Let's get some glass. Yeah, we'll just do the heavy color. Yeah, we'll give it a green tinge to it. Um, I think if we change the that's not doing it. There are definitely people that are better at this than I am. I kind of just work with it until it's good enough. Because basically, I want this to be trying to cut down on the see-throughness. Yeah. Worst comes worst, we can always make it deeper. I mean, and this is just for our reference. I'm not going to really render it that much. Yeah, so we can see that, but yeah, it's got a nice shine on it though. All right, so let's move on, so we don't get overwhelmed with things. Yeah, I know I said move on, but then I doing this. This one's an easy one. Plus, it'll make it look a lot prettier. All right, there we go. Yeah, so that should look nice. And all right. So what details were? Oh yeah, duh. What I started on the sketch. All right, so let's extrude this barrel now. So now this barrel, it's just going to cut through everything, like absolutely everything. So let me get everything back up. Yeah, it's all the rings and all that. The only thing it won't cut through is this. So that's going to be a cap. All right. Boom. All right. So now that's visible. It's all nice, clean cut, and we should be good. So we don't need that sketch anymore. And let's round off this interior. So now there's a big old lens in there. Since we're going to have something insert into here at the end, I should I think I'll make this cutout here a smidge bigger. So you could print the lens separately and then just insert it into here. And I'll show you real quick what I'm thinking. So let's actually go back to that sketch I just hid. And we'll just add something for our own reference. So we'll make another circle that will be, so this one's 44, we'll make this one 48. Yeah, that should be fine. So I'll make that one 48. This shouldn't affect any of the calculations. Yep. And oh yeah, forget I. There we go. New body. That sketch we're working on, and I'm still on point. All right, so we're not going to want it exact. It looks like it's actually inset pretty far from the beginning. So let's try 2 inches. Or, I mean 2 millimeters. Sorry, I'm American, so it's like baked into my brain. Oh, you know what? I kind of messed myself up there. Let me redo this real quick. So the lens itself will be here, but then the inset ring, that's going to be used for it's going to use to keep it in there. Yeah, it's going to be will be completely flat. So we'll just get something rough for there. All right, so let's mirror body. What am I looking for? Yeah, there, mirror body. All right, so this is what I was trying to figure out. So we will move that back. 2. Does 2 look good? You know what? Make it 3. I think 3 will look a little nicer. And I fat fingered something again. Yeah, I think 3 should look good. All right. So then we take the lens, which is still the sketch visible. Take the lens, push it onto here, and now we're going to scale the lens. I always hope you could do the center point, but for some reason when it comes to the scaling, the center point might as well not exist, which I don't understand. But it's another quirk of Fusion. So I don't know if I should have that stick out a smidge or... It's always a debate on how impressive the lens will look. You know, I'll just make it so it is just... Yeah. Now these are percents, So this is a very inexact method of doing it, but it works. All right, so let's make this reasonable amount since so I'll make that 3 millimeters. Just get some thickness for it to print on. Combine these two, and that'd be effectively the lens I'm thinking. So we will remove that, keep tool body, and let's get rid of this ring for now. All right. So as you see, it'll be a smidge bigger. Once it's all together, you won't even notice it. Though it is going to cause a small issue, isn't it? So I'm going to have to do it the entire way. Yeah. Yeah, I'm going to have to do it the entire way. So I'm just trying to think, like I would do a peg of some sort, and it would insert, but it wouldn't insert exactly right. No, you know what? I'll just make a spacer. Yeah, there'll be a spacer that will go in around this to make it even to this one, because this is going to be a beauty side. I forget this is the beauty side, because a lot of times with things that we're not going to see, we can make ugly, like this part, but that's going to be a beauty side, so we got to keep that looking nice. All right, so I just got to remember to do a spacer. So let's so we'll just get that, and let's do an intersect. Whoop. Do his new body actually. Then we'll do it as a intersect, keep tool, cut, keep tool. Okay, now will be our spacer to put in. Now here's the other issue. Why is this opening? Because that's what we're using to insert it. So 3.5, and yep. So that's gonna be too far. So let's all right. So whatever peg we get into there should be okay without it. So what we'll do is we'll just combine this as part of this. I'm sure I'm going to change my mind later on this, so I'm just going to commit for now. And oh, it's because I kept the tool. That's why. All right, so I'll commit to this. I'm sure I'll change my mind later, but this is just the way we'll do it for now. Okay, and move on. So rings, I'm going to cut these rings real quick just to sort of less confusing. Oh, it doesn't like it. Well, I don't like you either. It's weird that the split command doesn't work, but that works just fine. Go figure. All right. So let's just apply appearance real quick to this. because then we'll instantly remember that it is a lens. Front barrel. All right. So that'll be the lens, that would be the ring, and that's, we're supposed to have the cap over here, so that this will be the cap. That will go in. So we want to, I'll finish that one later. Oh yeah, so we want to do the part down here. I'll show you what I mean. So the way the gun ejects is that this comes off and slides onto that rail. So we're going to have to apply a rail. So I'll just use that as my reference. Get the edge of that. Now the tricky part's going to be making it so it goes, you know, far enough that it's secure, but not far enough that it gets too weak to print in areas, like too thin. Like how thick is this? Yeah, 3mm should be more than enough. So I probably could bulk that out a little bit. Because this is one of those areas that nobody will notice if you go bigger than the reference model. Like definitely this part I'm going to go a little thicker on because it's going to be holding a lot, like from you know, wiggling back and forth. So 0.36. You know, I want something I can reference easier, so I'll just make it 3. Because I ain't never going to remember that number. All right, I think that should be pretty good thickness. As it is, so just apply ones. All right, so that should work pretty well. Let's get rid of the canvas. Get rid of the front barrel for now. Okay, let's apply this. So now in the reference, I did take some screenshots of it apart. So it looks like it's thought I had another one. It looks like it's pretty close to the bottom of that, so we'll just call it the bottom of that. But the thing I should be paying more attention to is the clip part, because see how thin it gets there, and this is a T shape, so it ain't gonna be able to go that high. So I'll have to play around with trying to get this so it goes as high as we can. So let's get the barrel back. Let's get rid of the grip. So this gives us an idea how well we can actually go pretty darn high. So we'll say slightly below that. Yeah, let's go this, but oh, go this, but we will go 2 millimeters down. That should should give plenty of printing. Yeah, because that's per, I bet you that's another 2 millimeters right there. Alright, we'll just do this both ways. Yeah, I'm just going to keep this body for ease sake. Alright, get rid of this barrel, get the grip. Down to that. Oh, you know what? That's the other thing I did forget about. Let's see if I get a good bottom angle one. Okay, so it's completely even with that. So we want it to be even with this, and we'll just pull it out a little bit so that's nice and flush. All right. See, now this is going to be affecting my original printing because I was originally planning to use this as the flat portion for when we're printing. Now I'm leaning to splitting it in half. I know I said I didn't want to split it in half, but it might actually turn out nicer in the long run. Plus, then we can leave an area for the trigger to slide in, and cut that in half. I don't. This is another reason I like working in halves. Is it gives me a better idea of the interiors too, because everything's mirrored anyway. So it makes it a lot easier. So, but if we print flat like this should be nice and strong. Wouldn't have to use any supports. And the nice thing is, you could actually use the screws to combine both halves, and you can minimize glue then if you didn't want to use glue. But I guess this screw would be a little weird. It'd probably be okay. But yeah, that's going to be an issue. But cross that bridge when I get to it. Probably I'll just put a peg here to help with alignment when you're putting it together. All right, so we got this combined. We don't need this sketch anymore. And oh yeah, there's one detail here I want to add. Let's do it while we got this looking like this. So you know what, I could actually, now I'm thinking about it, I could just do this real quick. Actually show you how to do canvases. So where's the one that looks straight at it? There we go. This is going to be a really sloppy canvas because I didn't edit it all. And we're not looking for exact anyway. All right, so where'd that canvas go? Oh, yeah, I got put in the this body. Yeah, wonderful. So I was hoping what would happen. This reorient it rather than being at the rotate it one. All right, so this gives us a little better. So that should work pretty well just for reference. Because we're just looking for, rough idea where things are. So like these are what I was thinking about details originally, but we'll do the other details real quick too. So just do this real quick. 1 meter, 2 meter. Okay. And oh, that's gonna be an issue. Oh well, we can just, yet again, we're just gonna eyeball it real quick. Oh, get my center line. Okay. So we'll just get that to this, make that 3. And one more, just make that 4. And then one more will be 8. Alright, so it looks like that's just a straight cutout. So let's get an idea of how far down this goes. So let's call it 46. So we'll do this line at 23 because we'll just work in halves, save ourselves time and headache. Because everything's exactly the same, so there's no reason we should be doubling our work for no reason. Alright, do that. Now you can see the kind of jankiness of the normal map in this and how it got rendered. So this is a lot of just interpretation. Alright, so we don't need any of, oh yeah, it's fine. Alright, you know what, I gotta get rid of this grip. Oh, because the canvas is, yeah, get rid of the bodies. Yeah, there we go. Alright, so cutout will be roughly there. Now, so this distance between these is about that. So we'll just do 1 given the difference. We'll just do offset 1. But it looks like that's a little bigger. So we'll just, okay. Let's do an offset 1 for this one. And then this one will do an offset of 0.5. Yeah. Yeah, it should look pretty good then. Because then we'll get, we'll do it down to about there. Do it like that. Cut it. And just round both of these. Boy, we got a lot of jank from from the normal map. Oh boy. Gotta love normal maps. I mean, yeah, they look great in game, but I would appreciate some geometry. But that's what gets the causes issues with, you only can do so much geometry. Hence low poly and all that kind of stuff. So what? Look at that. And so what? We just get 4 slots total. So we'll just evenly distribute the slots there. Let me just get this little bit here. So 45. So I want that to be 0.5. All right, so that will round out like that. Nice. And get that for the insert. I probably should make this a smidge bigger. Because looking at that, yeah, that should look nicer. Yeah, again, this is one of those details nobody is going to notice except for you. All right, so we'll just do that. Split it in half. Then half of that. Half of that. All right. Oh. Turn off construction. All right, so that should look fine for that. And where's the bodies on this one? Okay, so that's not going to overhang. That was the one thing I was curious about. Oop. Not the whole thing, just the bodies. Okay, do that. And do this. And then do this. Do this at 45. Oh. I don't know why it does that little trail sometimes. I don't know if it's my mouse yet again, just kind of doing a half click and it causes the line to drag out like that, but it is super duper annoying. How wide is this about? So I'll make this a whole just 1 meter wide. Actually, let's make it 1.5. Up we go. Round that off. Kind of looks like a guitar. I'm guessing these are supposed to be electrical contacts or something in the for the power source, since this is a laser rifle or whatever, a laser pistol. All right, so that'll be the midpoint for the mirror. Cut that off since we don't need that. And we'll just let's bring this down. Only want one. Okay, just do the that smidge smaller so it's not hitting that wall. All right, cut out the portions we don't want extruded. All right, let's smooth it up. Yep, that should be pretty good. So we'll just I got another sketch active. Yeah, get rid of that. All right. All right. Okay, so we can get rid of this. Oh, you know what? Let's get this while we're in here as well. So let's project this barrel. So that'd be the inside barrel. Now, from what I can tell, or I'm sorry, this part tapers out. So we'll still taper it out, or chamfer it out. All right. So let's get the inner circle at 7. Slightly more circle 12. Other circle. So many circles. And then oh, okay, I did that one wrong. Or no, it's okay. It's because the glint of this is kind of weird. That's not actually another circle. That's more shadowing. So this would be right here. That would be the limit of that circle. And my and the focus is weird on that one. I mean, I didn't have fusion and focus. All right, so back task 36. What decide on that one? And that'd be what, 38. 38. 39. Yeah, do 39. All right, and then the and of course, ultimate circle would be the biggest one here. So that this would be a chamfer portion. And okay, so let's get these details of these like fork thingies. Oh, you know, I did forget one circle. This is like a chamfered portion. Do it at 19. 18. 25. Yeah. Get somewhere in the middle. All right. So let's get a sense of these forks. So the forks are roughly 3.5. Yeah. So 1.75. All right, so we're going to want to extend it all the way to about there, because that part of the whole thing actually looks pretty good. Now it looks like there's something there, but that's actually where it chafers again. So we'll have to actually do that in the physical model. So actually don't want to round those over. don't need to round everything over. All right, so what's the measurement for that one? 0.75. All right. And that should be good, since I'll duplicate this in model because it'll be a lot easier than doing it in a sketch. And that should be it. All right, so let's get rid of some of the details real quick. Using the same axis, so actually I can just do all these at once. All right, so that's cut out. Probably shouldn't have mirrored the sketch. It would have been easier if I didn't mirror it. But yet again, kind of rushing. All right, so we'll do that. Just do 1 meter in. Now I'll probably just combine these instead of keeping them like separate elements, because it oh, did I have to keep... What's going on here? Oh, I see. Okay. Because they're going to be such small details, it'd be actually complicated keeping it as something separate for someone to print when they wanted to print it. I mean, it'd be nice of me to do it, but oh boy, it'd be a headache keeping track. All right, so okay. That's one of the problems I run into sometimes. You know, you want to do infinite revisions of models, but it's not always practical to do that, because you try to accommodate people's requests, but you can only have so many iterations of something before it just becomes a shit show. Alright, so make that new body. And, oh yeah, interesting little line thingies that I should have put a center down them. I'll fix that. Since I'm going to want to revolve these. Alright, didn't break anything, right? Always look for the yellows. Alright. Probably should just turn this off. Alright, so just rotate that. Hopefully it just does, yeah, good. Did it straight from the get-go, like we wanted to do. And revolve that. Alright, so we'll just get both of these. Now, gotta change the origin real quick because we want it to be this surface so it aligns. It makes the cut real nice and easy. So combine, cut, cut. Bingo, bango, that looks pretty good. Alright. So, get rid of that. Bring back up the grip. Let's get rid of this canvas. Holy heck. Thing is noisy as heck. That's one of the reasons I try to clean them up ahead of time, is that you may think the background's not such a big deal, but oh my god, all the noise makes it really hard to discern anything. You know, look at that. That's almost like chamfered, isn't it? Am I already regretting my decisions? Yeah, because it looks like... So you know what we can do in this case? We can do a loft. So a loft this to this. Oh, no, calculations are wrong. Shoot. Because sometimes lofts work well for that. Oh, you know, if it was just outside profile, it probably would have been fine with the loft. But I'll fix this in post. I think everybody gets the. I think people should be able to get the general idea of what I'm doing. All right. So ultimately, I'll combine those. If I want to make them look pretty, I can just add a gold. Oh, there's no gold, so I just use bronze a lot of times in here. All right, so that should look really pretty in render. All right, so let's get back to working on this part. Pull that canvas back up for reference. All right, so the actual part, it sticks out pretty darn far. Which, you know, inserting the mag would not work. I mean, look at that. Look how far that sticks out. That's physically impossible unless it was like spring-loaded or something. So that's probably a good, you know, 5-6 millimeters. So in that hole. It's 2.5. Now this I'm just going by feel. I think looks good, though I did want this measurement. So yeah, again, I wish there was a way to just be like, chamfer this part to this bit. I have yet to figure out a way to do that. So I just have to make sure I measure it before I start with the chamfer. So I mean, call me crazy, but I'm assuming a lot of people like to have chafers up to the edges. I don't know. So I'll call it that. Show 4. Yeah, I'll do 4, and then this will jump it back up pretty far. Yeah, I'll jump back up to 3, and then we will chamfer it yet again. Lots of chafers. Let me get that measurement. And then we will get this circle up to 3, and then the slightly recessed circle at 2. Alright, so then we will round this circle, hopefully. Nope, wrong one. Right up against each other, so it can be a little tricky. There we go. Yeah. Because looks like, of course, that might be slightly inset. So you know what? I'll do that circle just like half a millimeter in. So then I can round this by half. And then I can round this by Alright, so I should combine these two. So I can soften this edge out. Yep. Now I want to do these outer rings, which it looks like it rolls right over. So we should combine the outer chamfer. Oh, I guess I already did that. Must have been when I did the extrude. 1.5. Save that in the clipboard. You know what? I'll do that as 1 so that I can do this one as 0.5. And then they'll meet. It'll be nice and rounded over. All right, and soften that. Well, let's get these first, then we can soften them. All right, so let's extrude this. So I want to make it even with that. Right, yeah. Mirror it. Okay, so now the chamfer is at that point, so we'll use that as reference for the chamfer. How did it do that? Oh, does it think it's different geometry? Oh, it does that. It does this sometimes. I don't know why it does that. So I'll just unmirror it. Either way, it's kind of screwy. Does it go all the way in? No, it doesn't go all the way in. So we will do it like 2. Yeah, 2 millimeters should be good. All right, so now let's mirror that. Soften these curves. All right. Oh. All right, so I think that looks pretty good. So now we will do a circular pattern with the axis being oh shoot. That's one problem about circular. I don't know why I can't use a point as a axis. There we go. All right, so we want a partial. Okay, so we'll do 90-degree. Sorry, symmetric, so I want it. Okay, 180 degrees. Okay. That should be good, because we're going to split this, so It doesn't matter for now. All right, and wait, did I keep the tools? Shoot, why is this not even? It may not seem like a big deal, but when it's not even like that, it it can mess up like features like fillets and all that. So it's usually best to ensure that your surfaces um, lead to each other. So I'm just going to do this. This is usually nope, that didn't fix it. Shoot. Yeah, okay, it doesn't seem to be affecting it, so we're probably going to be alright. That's good. Oh, silly me. It's because it was a separate body. Getting frustrated for no reason. Boom. Alright, so now they're all combined. Let's just round these real quick for make it a lot quicker. Okay. Yep. Not exactly what we want to accomplish down there. Yeah, there we go. Okay, that looks pretty good. Alright. Alright, I think that looks really good compared to the model. I think that looks really good. And it should look really nice when it's printed. so let's bring back up the bodies of the grip. Let's split that in half real quick. So I've got to. Oh, wait. Uh-oh. Did we screw up a body somewhere? I'm missing an air. Unfortunately, the microphone's kind of in my way. Huh. So there must have just been just a small enough gap to be an issue. I must have, when I was doing the screws, are probably just something I didn't click when I was clicking on the profiles. All right, so yeah, normally that's supposed to be out, but we'll just we'll do it inset, and it should look still pretty nice. Yeah, so we'll make that even with that part of the barrel. And it should look really nice. Let's throw an appearance on it. All right. Make that gold. And that should look really nice. And then I'm going to call it for today. Spent a lot on small details, but we'll come back later.